time for your mind. The inDmix podcast returns. Every guest is a special guest, but this guest, oh man, about to hear stories. He was there from the jump, from the beginning of inDmix. Yeah, Shawn was there. Shawn was there. One of my most memorable trips ever. Come on.
It's a couple of them.
It's a couple.
Yeah, that's
it's
what
a couple.
I mean, I don't know.
Now we're gonna go through it. Like, I still remember Emeralds.
Yeah, no, Emeralds.
That's still a little party like Emeralds ATL.
But see, for me, the one for me is Miami.
Oh yeah, Versace Mansion.
And remember, we literally got in and people couldn't get in. Like,
Shut it down. Private party.
Exactly. Millionaires couldn't get in, but we was walking in.
Could not believe that I was in that space. Let me try, before I introduce Shawn, let me try to paint a picture for y'all, because I don't think y'all really understand. Imagine that you're just doing IG videos, right? You know what I mean? Just to be funny and stuff. And somebody sees it and says, oh yeah, we're putting you in a movie next week. That's literally what happened to me. I'm out here just taking pictures just so I can get in the club. But I kind of I'm all right. I'm not good. I'm all right. I'm not good. I'm on the red carpet at the Grammys. You know why? That guy. That guy introduced me to B. Cox. I mean, like, B. Cox is telling me at Embar, just try to wrap your mind around what I'm trying to say here. Just trying to get in the club, and then boom, I'm shooting the red carpet on the Grammys, man. I'll forever appreciate y'all for that. That was a you and B. Cox thing. And when B. Cox said that at the Embar, I didn't believe that. No way. But you've been living that life. Man, let the people.
I definitely would not. I mean, I know we always give you your flowers. I saw the lumps, but
right.
I mean, it's just like, we got to give you your flowers, because you literally, you started this, like, you know what I'm saying, like, it wasn't. I mean, I know we'll talk about it. I grew up here, all that, but
right.
When you started going to the club, and like, remember back then it was only like one night. It wasn't
like multiple nights.
It wasn't multiple nights.
Right.
It wasn't multiple pages. Probably was 4 pages. So
right.
It had to be like a who's who.
Who to like make that joint.
Exactly. So we start going out randomly outside of that, and they be like, "Oh, your name is such and such," and I just saw you, and I'm like,
how do you even know my name?
So you actually brought that, before social media, you brought that world to people.
To people, right.
That's how me and Bryan had a talk. We was like, yo, we need to bring our Kim, because like that people are not seeing this. Like, but back then you wasn't seeing the Grammys, you wasn't seeing his birthday party at Emerald. You wasn't seeing a life that was being lived outside of Houston. There wasn't no social media. So it's like, yo, we need to get our Kim. So it's like, and so that's kind of where I've always been like, yo, we need to make sure we oops. That's why I'll be like, Kim, I need your full name. I need this.
I'm like, but that was an introduction to me to a lifestyle I was not privy to. And that's why you're here today to talk and let people know the stuff that you do. This is the plug on almost in everything. And that's how it ties back to Nightlife, because we all rely on you and the connects that you know. But don't let me do all the talking. Let the people know who you are, where you're from, what you do. He does it all, but go ahead, brother.
I'm from let me start there. I'm from New York. I was born in Hempstead, Long Island.
Did not know that.
Yeah, and then I moved here when I was 11, and then I went to Welch. That's how I met Bryan. Me and Bryan both went to Welch together.
Okay.
At that point, Beyonce went to Welch.
What's Welch?
Middle school.
Okay. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, right. That's on the southwest side of Gessner, West Belford. So we all went to Welch together. From there, I went to Westbury, and I think I've always been like a party, like high school parties, going this. Right. At that point, we grew up with the Vince Youngs, the Rashard Lewises. We grew up with, again, like the Beyoncés and LaToyas.
Right.
Before they became they were Destiny Child, but before they got their deal or whatever. I know, like, the whole story, like, everybody knows about Linda or whatever, like, the boyfriend that she had. Linda went to Westbury with us, so, like, we used to, like, do the high school parties, like, go to the parties. They would be performing and stuff like that. So, we just grew up, I think we just grew up in that area. Like, we grew up in the like, just whatever clubs, what I'm saying? Like, whatever clubs was out, like, we just grew up in it. And then as you start getting a little bit older, you start doing the Just Jokings, you start doing just like the little 18 spots, and that's how you start meeting people from just different, and, just being cool and you know, you just continue to grow. And then me and Bryan linked back up as we got older, and that's when like it official happened. Like I remember we was in Max's.
Augusta. Max is in Augusta. And not the Max is Phoenix.
No, it was Augusta. So I remember seeing Bryan. And mind you, I'm not in music like that. So that's why. So when it comes ties into music, like I know the business side, but I don't know like before now. I don't know like who's producing. I don't know that. But
nothing. You just know about there's a song. Exactly. Yeah, that's the person that performed it.
So yeah. So at that point, I'm hearing this Bryan Cox name. I'm like, I got a partner named Bryan. I don't know nothing about it. And at the end, again, there's no social media, so like, you're not really knowing. And so we ran into each other at Max's, and he was like, "Yo," he had like a fur on, and he popping bottles. I'm like, we like 21, 22. What you doing? He like, so we exchanged numbers again. So he wanted to do a birthday weekend. So he's like, help me.
Stop! I did not know this whole time that y'all just linked back up like that. I thought y'all like hung out together, like you were in the studio with him when he's doing all this. So this is a link back up from going out. Continue. Sorry to interject. I just had to take that information in.
So we linked back up. It must have been like October-ish or early November.
Right.
He's like, yo, my birthday is December 1st. I'm like, oh, my birthday November 29th. So we literally 2 days apart.
Right.
So like I want to do a birthday weekend. I was like, all right, bet. I have never done any clubs before, so I don't know nothing about nothing.
Right.
I'm like, fuck it. I'm like, what's the hot spot? So I'm like, okay, I go to Visions. I go meet Eve. So I meet Eve. So he's like,
Eve, right.
Yeah,
no, not Easy Eve, but Eve now.
Yeah, Eve,
yeah.
So I meet him. So I'm like, yo, I got somebody that, you know, wants to do a birthday, whatever. And so I say Bryan Michael Cox. Well, you know, DeAndre Bird was a part of Visions also, and he's a part of Visions in Atlanta. So Bryan's name is already ringing bells in Atlanta. So it's like, it's already like, okay, cool. You know, so I know who he is. So we do that. You know, we do inDmix on Thursday, which that's how I met Renee. That's my sister. I love Renee to death, but that's the first time I met her. We did not have a good first.
I don't know first, you. Yeah. How much did she try to charge?
Like literally, I'm like, yo, his face is on the flyer.
Like, I don't care. Renee charged everybody. But what up, Renee?
Exactly.
Shout out to Renee.
Shout out Renee. That's my girl. I love her to death. But she like
Shallow.
Yup, Shallow. She like, I gotta go get Lisa. So I'm like, man, look, I stay on 10. So I'm like, man, like he on the flyer. Okay, I gotta go get Lisa.
Right.
So that was inDmix, Visions. We did something Saturday, and then we did I think Saturday we ended up doing Hush. Yeah,
so, that's when Hush was open.
Yeah, Hush was crazy. So then after that, so that Monday he was like, come to the house. I came to his house. He wrote me a check, like, you know. He's like, he appreciated how I put it together, and so from that point we just started. You know, we've been rocking ever since. But I just think
that's crazy, bro. Yeah. I thought you always did this. So that's the first client, basically.
Yeah, no, yeah, like that.
Till today, that's your client,
and that's why. You know, and I mean, I think the loyalty, because if it wasn't for him and that, I wouldn't.
It wouldn't have opened the doors for everything.
So that's why, like, no matter what, like, and I think the biggest thing to me is like I was in his mama's house one day. And she was like, take care of my son. She's like, make sure my son is straight.
Good,
so I think because of that, like when your mama look in your eyes, be like, take care of my son.
Right.
So I'm like, for that, it's like, you know, shit.
Man, listen, mama could say that. If you're not good at what you do, it ain't gonna matter. Yeah. So, you know, I'm glad mom said that, but I've seen you move. Like, you think like a celebrity. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know what they're not going to like. You walk in and be like, where you putting them at? Oh, no, that's not going to work. You go see the section, you're like, oh, no, cancel that. Like, we're not even walking into all this is.
I mean, I think that's also because of, I mean, I know where you're going to go with this, but like, that's just also the other relationships that I've also seen. So no matter what, like, I mean, I'm not knocking nobody today's artist, but I mean, any artist I've ever really been around is like multi-platinum.
Right.
Like, you know, whether it's the Nellies, whether it's the JDs, whether it's the Bow Wows, whether it's whoever, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no. Name some of your clients. I kind of want you to go through a few that you work with, right?
Well, client-wise, is mainly those, but then also when you start looking at, like, because of those relationships, like, you never know who you're going to be around. So you're in a room with, like, I've been blessed to be in a room, like, you know, now we're around Usher. So everybody's like, oh, my God, Usher. But it's like, for us, we're around him.
Yeah,
like,
a lot, right.
You know, Mariah Carey, Mary J. Blige, you know what I'm saying? So when you're around these people, it's like, it's still like a level like, oh my God, but still like I'm still at work, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm not like a.
I mean, you know that you're here because we're preparing for the DVSN show this Saturday, and that's another plug that he has. So it's crazy to see that from that one client you've develop all these relationships.
Exactly. So I think that's the most important. It's just like, so I think the crazy part is that. So I think the first time I met Nelly, me and Bryan got back to Atlanta. Jermaine calls Bryan, and I'm in the car, and he's like, yo, I got, Paul Wall up here, blah, blah, blah. And so he's like, oh, so we go to the studio or whatever. And so that's when they made Grills. So that's like my introduction to Nelly and them. Because we going to the studio anyway, and me and Paul been friends since Houston, whatever, boom, boom, boom. So from that point, I met them, and it was just a connection because they're like, oh yeah, y'all from Houston, y'all cool, whoop, whoop, whoop. And at that point, it was before social media. So now it's like, so we need a ground person. So we need somebody like, hey, does this work? Like, is this a good spot for us?
To go for us to go to.
So that, excuse me, and so for that, because of that, it's like, okay, well, we know Shawn know what he's talking about. We know this and that. And it's been, it's been unfortunate situation. I'd be like, yo, we got to go.
Right.
And so it's like, it's crazy. Like, little old me is telling like Nelly, like, we finna go.
Right.
He like,
and
Shawn,
you see stuff like Shawn said it. We got to roll.
Like Shawn said, we got to go. You know what I'm saying?
And that's crazy because I want to tie it full circle to how Nightlife is. A promoter's trying to book you here. They know that you're in Houston. They're like, yo, is this the spot to be at? You get to confirm it and all of that. Yeah, St. Lunatics, all that. I keep forgetting that you had all these cats.
I was definitely, Grills, and so I mean, and it's just been a blessing, like it's crazy. It's just like, I think the relationships, I've been to college, so you gotta have that sense of like education on top of, street smarts,
the streets, and then the business, right?
To move it all together. So once you move it all together, I think it's just like a nice combination.
Right, no doubt, man. I give you props, man. That comes with just having a natural knack to do what you do. I remember when we would do all these. Speaking of the recording studios, when I'll come to Atlanta, and I know got to go to the studio. That's a thing before anything even happens.
I mean, I'm about to say because like without the studio, that you can't. You got to make the money to spend the money.
To spend the money. True that.
So sometimes you be like, man, I'm ready to go, but like you can't really, if you don't make that hit, if you're not in that sauce,
right?
Like you can't get that number one to go out here and spend the money.
Right.
So.
And I know you move in different cities. I marked this down because I've seen you. What are the major cities that you're at that you're always working? You got back today.
Literally, I got back at 6:48, and I'm here.
Always
now.
On the go, right?
Yeah, but that was unexpected. But I mean, I'm from here, so I mean, all my grassroots are kind of here. I'm based in Atlanta for work, and then we have the Bryan and Keith Thomas. They have the Ladies Love R&B.
That's right.
I think that's pretty much a big creator. It's been 5 years, I think, and so I think their module, the module, what they created. I think a lot of people have gone behind it because at first it was Keith Thomas, Bryan, and then Mr. Ruggs, because Mr. Ruggs had the first club, SL, and because Ruggs is tied into, he's tied into the more urban side, whether it's like the Meek, and he'd have the Meek, he'd have the Fabulous, he'd have all of them come, so that tied into it made it cool because we got these people coming in here, so now you got people that's like, whether you're street, whether you're more urban, whatever, so people want to start tying in or taking that sauce per se.
Right.
And make it into so everybody has R&B nights, and so I mean I'm on the podcast now, so I will say it. Ladies Love R&B is trademarked, so I'll be seeing people that I do know
using the stuff. Hey, talk your stuff, man. How long have y'all been doing that though?
Well, first it started out as R&B Wednesday, and then an unfortunate situation happened that SL Lines had nothing to do with nobody, but the dude. It was one of Kevin Durant homeboys. He used to talk to Erica Mena. I don't know about name, but he passed away at the club. Literally, he had a situation. So it's at that point, B Cox is I can't be involved,
associated with that.
So we have to, we gotta split ways with this club. You know what I'm saying? So
and then rebranded, and it's kind of better now because y'all take it on tour.
Because that's what it was. Like you can't do an R&B Wednesday on a Friday. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, okay, you know what? It's time to rebrand, and so the rebrand brought the birth of Ladies Love R&B.
Gotcha.
And so from there, that's when it's able. Now you can brand it in different situations. Like I said, I've seen people in different states and cities. You know, I'm like, damn, y'all really just gonna use like a full name,
right?
Like, no, like not even a half name, a full name.
The whole thing. I'm telling you right now, every club that's opening up has an R&B theme night. It's just what it is. You need Afro beats. You need your hip hop young. You need your hip hop older. You need an R&B night.
My issue is it really R&B though? Like, are they? Because for me, I've been to some. And I'm like, I heard no R&B. Like, what are y'all like y'all? That's what I'm saying. It's like it's a knack that y'all want to use now, but are y'all really actually doing it? And then you have certain DJs actually hold it. Like I know Rogers can hold it. Shout him out. Shout out you know, Donnie Houston, DJ Red.
Sure.
Like I know they can hold these sets, but can everybody actually hold a real R&B set for a whole night and make people really like? Because if you see like our videos or you come to our night, like you got dope boys, you got women. Like I got women singing in the bottles, like I guess a microphone. Like
if you
all
really
night.
Create the vibe, they will go there with you, no matter who it is.
And it's a real vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like it's got people like last week in Atlanta, we had Jadakiss. You know what I'm saying? We got Nelly that sings at the top of his lungs. You know, like you got people that because it's like it's a real thing. It's not like it's fugazi. Like it's literally 95% R&B and probably 5% whether it's some turn up or something.
Are you there every? Is that an every week thing or every
every single Wednesday? So it's like I'm only here today because I was able to get away. But I mean normally like every single Wednesday.
You're out there. Gotcha, man. That I tell you that stuff is branded. I'm glad we had the opportunity to bring y'all down and host at Hanky. Shout out to a few good men and myself. You know what I mean? To show the people that
time, like we had Jagged Edge came through.
Jagged Edge came through. Right. So had a bunch of people come out, man. So you work with all these people. Who are your favorite promoters to work with? I know you work with a lot, not just in Houston, but
across the board, my favorites. I got a guy in San Fran. I definitely got. Let me see. Who else are some of my favorites?
Headache. You ain't got to deal with too much drama.
San Fran is Anthony Presents. That's what I was saying. He's definitely a cool cat. I like his. His parts because it's not, it's very much, because, the Bay is very much a different, like they hyphy, so they like turn up, we want to have a good time, energy, so I think I love that. In Houston, I love everybody. I think I love everybody because I feel like Houston is like always going to be home, so I feel and I like bringing different things, so I mean, I'm definitely you never get, like, I don't really have no issues. Like, I don't think I've ever had, like, no issue with nobody. Every now and then people are going to try to do what they're going to. I guess I'm going to say it now also. I think I get frustrated when people, like, try to, like, downplay B. Cox. I think. And again, that's my brother.
Those days are done, though.
Yeah, like that's my brother. Like, do y'all realize, like, I don't know, but, like, next to Beyonce, like, who else can say they've done what he's done?
So, right, the level, the accolades he had.
So
B. Cox, we need you on the podcast.
Oh, nah, I'll get him. I would definitely make that happen. But I mean, so for that,
come out here and talk.
I think that's like the only. We're definitely gonna make that happen. Right. But I think for me, I think that's the only issue. Like I feel like like
cats who just look at him because they're so when you're from here, people were like, I've had the opportunity to go out of town with y'all, and I see the love he gets. It's total night and day. Totally night and day. So shouts out to B. Cox, shouts out to Shawn. Man, y'all keep doing y'all thing. What are you working on? What's the next big thing? I know you're doing the Usher joints.
Well, Bryan, again, because of the relationship, Bryan did Confessions, he did Burn. And because of the R&B part in Atlanta as well
and let people know he did means he produced these songs. I mean, you're so used to saying that sometimes people might just overlook that.
Okay, well, if we're gonna get it right, he wrote and produced.
Gotcha.
So he wrote and produced Confessions, Burn. So because of that relationship, as well as Keith Thomas is Usher's best friend, Usher comes to, like, whenever he's in Atlanta and he has a chance, he comes to the club. So what it was when he started doing his residency inside of Park MGM is the arena that he does it, and then also it's a club. So you literally walk out the arena, you walk straight to the casino, and it's literally right here.
That's
so
the after party. Bam.
So after party, so he was like, well, I wanna make my experience more of like, you know, home. I want to feel comfortable. So they made like the Ladies Love R&B the official after party. Gotcha. So we do it every weekend of his shows. So every Friday and Saturday we out there. So that you know, I'm just there to help, you know, coordinate that to make sure everything is straight. Because Usher, I mean, Keith is doing what he got to do. Bryan is Bryan. So you need somebody that's gonna be able to, you know, finagle all the middle stuff that, you know, they don't have to really deal with.
That's what you're good at.
Yeah, just making sure that's straight. Then you know, Bow's getting ready to go back on tour with the Millennium Tour. So trying to, you know, navigate what that looks like with both of those. So
that's dope. That's dope. I cannot end the night without talking about one of the craziest parties that you've helped set up. You've seen some stuff, you know what I mean? Talk about the top parties that you've been a part of. We started off with it. There's nothing to me. You've seen more, but my experience just hanging around y'all, that Versace mansion joint is up there. It's up there.
But I mean, I think for that we were just guests. So, but actually things that I've been involved with was Beamers, like Super Bowl, All-Star.
Dallas. Oh my goodness. So, even with the snow.
Even with the snow.
Even with the snow, that joint was great. Because he had, name off all the people that he had. Yeah.
So, I know the NBA thing, I know he had Nelly.
Nelly was there.
He had Carmelo Anthony, shout out Shakara Ross. We ended up getting her on there. It was, I mean, I gotta pull it up, but I know that was like well over. But I mean, I think that was kind of like one of the first main ones I actually was able to get my hands in because the dude Dario wasn't very familiar with like you know,
urban demographic and
so
all that.
He needed people like to actually, you know,
host, put on the flyers,
put stuff
like
together.
That.
So I was actually able to, you know, pull that together and help him.
It's what you did naturally. So that was it was a win-win.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's what started it. Other big ones I would like to think, I helped Keith and Vince with like one of Vince, when Vince used to have his weekend.
Gotcha.
I helped him with one of those events. You know, Vince's weekends used to be crazy.
Ooh, crazy. Did that Miami joint a few times. I remember that. You just took me down memory lane. Completely forgot about that.
Yeah. What else have I had my hands fully on? I had my hands on a couple hush situations.
Right. Shouts out to Hush. R.I.P. Hush. We still need something like that. A staple in Houston that everybody just understood. Speaking of that, what do you think of the current state of nightlife in Houston? You're out. You go out. You know what's up. I know. Let's not even. You know what I mean?
It could be a combination. I want to be nice and say I've gotten older, so I'm not really. And I think because it's work, like people say, like if you work at a restaurant, you don't want to eat there.
Eat there, true that, true that.
So I literally I go out like literally like maybe only Sunday fun day, just because like that's just like I like to, you know, chill. But like as far as like going out at night, I be wanting to be in the bed by then because
I got you.
I literally have to do it like last night.
That matters to me though. Shawn goes out a lot, rarely goes out. So when you do go out, where's the place you go to?
50-15.
That's information I'm trying to get out of you. Sometimes it's just whatever to other people, but that's where you're comfortable. Don't fight it. It is what it is. Outside of 50-15.
I love, you know, what y'all got. You know, y'all y'all started y'all partnership over there. Y'all having live music. You know, I like that. Like I said, I like because my thing is it gives you that good balance. Like, you know, it's not the super young crowd, but you might still get some youngins in there.
It's
not the super old like grandmamas. It's like it's the cool aunties. It's the cool mamas. You know, like it's just that good.
It's the cool aunties.
Yeah,
I love it.
Like,
I love it.
But besides that, I like Mr. X. I definitely used to like what's the one? Which one we just did? The one we just talked about. Hanky and Pilot.
Hanky.
I liked Hanky.
Right.
What other do I like? I just like some things, I guess, because again, once you get older, like, I mean, if we switch the thing, like certain type of women you want to be around, like I'm not trying to be around 22-year-olds.
Right.
So
no disrespect.
No disrespect at all. Yeah,
no,
none of that. But it's like
just what it is. We're older now.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
So it's a certain level of like what you want to be around. So
I remember that we're going down memory lane to close out. 2-3 clubs that you missed from back in the day. Bam, hit them.
Oh, Miss. Oh, man. I mean, we're going to do number 1, M-Bar. Number 2,
M-Bar University.
M-Bar.
No doubt.
I mean, we can definitely take it to. I mean, I remember back in the day, Oasis. Standing in line. Oasis free before 10. We used to literally be outside
and having a conversation in the line. It wasn't even nothing.
I mean, like literally, you stand in line with your homies. And you get out there and you hoping like I gotta get there kind of early because like if I missed it free before 10, I might not be able to get in. I might not,
Dead ass.
I mean, Jamaica.
Come on.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's why I think for us, like we've done it. We've had a run for so long.
Run.
And it's like even now, like we still do it, but it's like again, Jamaica. Oasis, Max's 2000,
Sempers.
Oh, I'm a Semper. That's now Dreams.
That's now Dreams.
That's like crazy. Like when they first remember when Dreams first went over there? Everybody was like 27. We was like, that's Sempers.
That's Sempers.
That's Sempers. Like you know what I'm saying? Like literally
2727 Crossview. Like hearing that.
I say, remember that time when Puff was at Sempers and he brought out the bar. He was standing on top of the
whole bar, standing on the bar. First time seeing Puff in the city like that. Flying down Westheimer police escorts. I mean, that was crazy.
I mean, then you got what was remember like back when Onyx was crazy? Like Onyx used to be like on steroids.
It was like line around the corner type.
I mean, you know what I mean? And those are days like I guess now, but like we used to literally like spend like $1,000. Well, we didn't spend nothing. I'm sorry, Brian spent $1,000 just for us to go upstairs and eat. Like we're like, yo,
just
like,
get away from all this.
You better you got to pay $1,000 just to get like a section upstairs, and we go up there to eat to chill. Like I mean, like they used to walk us through the kitchen, walk us through the back door. Like that's back when Puff. Remember one thing like Puff was in there throwing money all night. Him and Jim Jones. It was
there
like
weren't a lot of strip clubs back then, and if you was, it was like it's we got establishments now. You know what I mean? But back in the day, this is when After Hours was just starting to be a thing. You know what I mean? So Onyx was just the official standalone.
It was definitely like just the staple. Now that was crazy too, though. When you say that now, because Atlanta used to be open all night, but now it's a hard shutdown at 3.
Oh wow! So I didn't know that. I ain't been in ATL.
So what happens is it's a flip for Atlanta. Atlanta is you go to the strip club early. So you literally go to the strip club
pre-game.
Exactly. Like you pre-game at the strip club, and then you end up at the real club. So you
shut down at 3, and then everybody
go home. So it's like literally. So you'll go to the strip club at 11, 12, and then stay there till like 1:30. And then now from there you going, you know what I'm saying? Now you're going to go where you want to go because that's nothing. Like in Houston, the dancers, like the main dancers, don't get to work until after the regular club because they've been out. But in Atlanta, like you have to be at work. Like you actually like on a real schedule. Like you got a scheduled time. You got to be at work. So you got to be at work. And so
that's crazy how things have changed. I'm thinking Body Tap, ATL, all that stuff back in the day.
Boy, look, I'm gonna tell you a story, and it's not even. I mean,
go ahead.
I'm about to say, I think it's the years of. I think the years of what you call it, whatever the years are over with now. The statute of limitation is over. Man, look, we was in. Remember, Bite Tap used to have like a barbershop. They used to have like
a barbershop, a shower in there.
That's where I'm going. So they had private rooms and showers, right? So they got tables. Club. They got tables, like a table set up in the shower room. So it's me, Cox. I want to say Bowie. We all in there, and so this is back. Brian got $1,000 jeans on, all this shit. So the girls are like, yo, and they're in the shower, like putting a body wash on each other. They hitting each other the girls hitting each other from the back. All this, they like, yo. And so, mind you, we're throwing money over the shower, so it's going over and it's getting wet in the shower. So it's literally a wet pile of money.
I'm not any part of this debauchery. So I know nothing about this.
So why they pull Cox in there? So Cox takes off his jewelry, takes off his phones, whatever. He literally gets in the shower with the girls, and so he's literally like drenched in water in
with the thing. $2,000 clothes and all that.
I mean, that's just what it is.
How it is. Hey, man, the difference between ATL and Houston, we don't get that hype over here. Even if we did, I know nothing about it. Yeah. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. but I appreciate you making time. I just kind of, people see you, and I wanted them to kind of know what you do. All these hosts, some of these hosts you see them in the in Houston in clubs. That's the plug usually that we're communicating with to get some of these hot hosts.
I mean, I think,
out here.
like I say, with that, I just think it's also a good, because you know what you're getting with me. So if you call me, I'll be like, yo, like
this is what the.
I say, and I'm gonna keep it play with you. Like I'm gonna be like, yo, like it is what it is that way. Because that's the problem. I think a lot of people, they want to do it. It's like run off on the plug. It's like, okay, well, I'm gonna tell you what you want to hear, or I'm gonna tell you blah blah blah, and then when the shit go bad, now you in a salty space. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'd rather be like, yo, Kim, this is what they doing, boom, boom, boom. This is what they willing to do. This is what they not gonna do. That way, you can manage expectations. Because if you don't manage them, now everybody
find yourself in a messed up situation.
And so I'd be like, well, yo, you can do this, you can't do that. This makes sense because everything, everybody want to make money. It's like that's cool, but. All money ain't good money. So it's like, so when the money ain't right, now you looking crazy. Like, well, I didn't get what I wanted. This ain't right. Da 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 da. And it hasn't been communicated to the artist that this is what the expectation is. And that's another thing that I didn't say. For me, this is a job. So I don't look at it. So I don't look at it as like, oh, I'm going to the club, because that's why people always say, oh, I don't smile, I don't do this. It's not that I'm in a bad space. It's the fact, because at that point, but I'm gonna tell you about that too, though, like, because I've seen, I'm not gonna speak on that, but I've seen like artists curse their management out in the club because of certain things that they require
that was not met. And
so guess what?
Know that.
Exactly.
Right.
So I would rather somebody else be, because I'm gonna be very transparent with you. Like I'm gonna do a walkthrough. I'm gonna be very transparent. This is what we need. So if you do your part, then my part is easy.
Right.
But it's like it's shit, because it's like people be forgetting. Oh, I started drinking. Oh, I forgot. Like do your business first.
You know that's gonna piss off the audience. You know the small things that piss who off.
Exactly.
Like I'm trying to tell y'all, this ain't gonna go good.
Exactly. It's like you walk in, like some artists don't want nobody in the section. I don't care who you are.
That's the biggest pet peeve of Shawn. Have two people in the section. Two. I don't care if they girls. I don't care. Shawn, look at you like, you got to get them people out of there.
Hey, it was two baddies. It was two baddies in Dallas. Like I'm talking about, like future. One of them is definitely a future wife, future mother of your children.
But while
and I'm like, yo,
work,
they got to go. Like, and then so I'm like, once I get back and I can like I can re-engage it, you can come back in. But I need to, because that's a major thing. Like I don't, even if they do know them, like I want to walk into, because it's like for them it's a vibe. It's like, for me it's like I'm making an entrance. Like, you know, people walk in with the flowers, like, you know, like I'm coming to America.
That kind of
I want to come into like a vibe. So now when you see me walk in, like, oh, that shit went from 0 to 100.
Right.
I know they're here. So now I know they're here. Okay, cool. Now
this is our space, and you guard that. Once you settle
exactly. That's another thing. Yeah, because because that's another thing. Once you walk in, he might want to sit right there, or he might want to sit right there. But now you walk in and people sitting over
right here. All he has
is
over here, and it's like it's forcing him. If I'm hosting, I need everybody out. So I get it.
So that's you know. So I think that's the main thing. So when I got back, I said it becomes work, because it's like, yo, like let's get this work done, and then we can enjoy it. But if we're not gonna do that part of the work, then that's where things get messed up. And so for me, it's like, it's still a time frame. Hey, what time you need him to be there?
Right.
What time you need him to DJ? What time you need this? That way. For me, everything's about time. Hey, what time is the car going to be here? What time are we doing this? Hey, boom, boom. Because that way it just makes it, the easier it flows, it makes it better. Then you always going to get thrown some wrenches.
Right.
So I got to be prepared. So anything I can be prepared for, I want to be prepared for.
You want to be prepared for it. Rather than you winging the whole night, each spot. It's just going to be...
Yeah, because I say it's gonna be a shit show night after night. Like, oh, I don't know what this is. Like, no, like, let's get this.
And then it will make you not good at what you do.
Exactly. So I want to get the who is the main waitress? Who do I need to communicate about? Because that's nothing. You get in there, you got an artist in there. The club closed at 2.
Right.
We get there at 12. No, not even that. So 12:30.
Right.
It take another 30 minutes to get their bottles. But now you won't. But again, so you got. In your
performance.
so they want to drink. You got guests. You want to get them to get their drinks first. That way you can start feeling good. Like, okay, cool, I'm in a good vibe. I'm vibing with my people. All right, now I'm ready to perform. But instead, you want to take 30 minutes to bring a nigga bottles out. So now the vibe is getting killed, because now you're trying to push.
And they still gonna wait for their drinks. So the concert is pushed out. The people are pissed off.
So that's what I'm saying. So once you put all that together, like, hey, who is the main waitress? For me, I'm like, yo, pull these bottles, put them to the side. That way you already know, boom.
That's
the artist. All we gotta do when they get here, hey, the artist here, or hey, the artist is almost here. Start preparing that. Boom. Once you get in there with the next 10 minutes,
it should be out.
Pull their bottles out.
I say 10 to 15 minutes. Your bottle should be at your table.
And I saw that also when you had Kim. Kim, super OG. Like Kim is definitely.
She looks at the flyer. Who's there? Where they at? That's just Kim being Kim.
And that's. I mean, I think I think a lot of people these days have gotten into the business just because it's like it's quick money. Right. It's I can meet the celebrity. I can start fucking with the celebrity. I can start fucking with somebody in the crew. Like it's for them, it's more of a show. It's like I get paid to kind of party. It's really a job. You know what I'm saying? Because like you really, I want gratuity, but where you been for the last hour? I ain't seen you. Like you ain't came back.
We ain't just giving money out.
Yeah, like I ain't. You came back. I ain't seen you one time, but because like. Again, that's Kim. She gonna work the room. She gonna make sure you straight. She gonna make sure, hey Kim, what's going on tonight? All right, you should go here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Versus like so it's like versus now it's like a lot of. And I'm not saying everybody, but some are just like it's a cute thing. Like I want to be cute and I want to go in there. But are you really doing are you really managing the room? Are you really managing what you're supposed to do?
Your customer and your clients. Man, listen to the gems from the OG, Shawn. I appreciate you coming out here. We're going to have so many more. Let the people know who's in concert this weekend.
So Saturday is going to be the Homies Division. Bryan did.
I always say DVSN.
I mean, that's it. I mean, it's either or, but that's definitely the Homies. Daniel and 85. People don't even know it's really two of them.
Right.
But Daniel is the actual singer, and then 85 is the producer. But 85 does a lot of Drake's, stuff too. They also on the OVO, but they're here on Saturday.
Did not know that.
And then
Bayou Place. Shouts out to Tim Briscoe.
Yep. And then next Sunday we got Ashanti at 5015. So so she gonna come through. I think I'm gonna pat myself on the back.
Hasn't been here in a minute.
Like
I'm looking forward to that one.
I'm literally like I got Ashanti coming on Alameda. So like that's
major. That's major.
Like I got Ashanti
coming to the city on the block.
She gonna be on Alameda on a Sunday. So it's
I
definitely
think that's gonna be a crazy vibe. I can't wait for that particular show. Man, thank you for making time coming out here.
Oh no, definitely.
Keep doing what you do. Don't stop. You know what I mean? Keep giving us these quality options for entertainment in Houston and never change who you are. Shouts out to Elliot. Appreciate you, my brother.
Definitely my light-skinned brother. My light-skinned brother with the beard. Yes, everybody ain't got it.
Yeah, true. Shouts out to Larry Brooks. Pure hustle in the building. You know what I mean? I'm repping for him tonight. The We Are One Music Festival, November 12th to 13th. Crazy lineup. Again, Jeezy, Gucci,
y'all heard about
Keef.
that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? They got the Tiesto. It's hip-hop, it's EDM, it's arts. Make sure y'all check it out and get y'all tickets. Amanda Seales will be here.
Yeah.
She's coming out here.
I saw that.
Her comedy show is next Friday, the 30th. We have the after party at 5015. She will be in the building. Just cool as hell. Can't wait for that. And lastly, Wu-Tang. I know it coincides with the DVSN show. I'm gonna do both. How about that?
Yeah. I think is the other show earlier or is it something?
They usually start early, but it's Busta Rhymes, Nas, and Wu-Tang.
Yeah. Crazy. You I saw you post that too. Like
man,
you
I got
you
my
can't miss that.
Tim's ready. I got the fatigues. I'm coming.
You on 10.
East Coast. Super.
I remember. Y'all gotta remember him from U of H days.
I still got the.
You definitely gotta remember him.
This is not new. This was always me.
And I think that's what I'm saying. I think we all just grew up together. Because I didn't even know you at that point, but I remember you going. I remember you like stepping and you being part of.
The Sigmas.
Sigmas. I remember y'all doing Sigmas. Y'all doing. So I'm saying we all kind of just grew up in that, and we all kind of just grew up and just. Like even if you didn't speak to somebody, like, okay, I know that face. Okay, I know that face.
Him, right,
yeah, so that way we all kind of grew up in that same, era and just grew up, just grew and
to see where we are now. And it's just.
But I say because even like you said, like Lump was saying, like you're a brand. You're everything that you have different things about yourself that you've created. Whether again you started with the actual website, then you branched off into other businesses and you made yourself that you're a father now, a husband,
daddy life now. That's
exactly.
What's taking over.
I'm about to say because remember at one point like you was definitely jump life. You know what I'm saying? So it was definitely and one thing. If I say one thing about him, like even like we say come out of town. Kim gonna catch that first flight out. Like, yo, I'm gone, son.
Out.
I was like, what you doing? I'm headed to the airport.
We turned up. We had fun. First flight. Gone.
I'm gone. So so it's definitely,
that was always my thing for sure. Still, like, you know what I mean. But that's just love. I'm glad you came through, man.
Oh, no, I'm glad. Thank you for having me.
Podcast, man. One more time, appreciate you.
It's all nothing
appreciate
but love.
Y'all. Keep tuning in. Subscribe on YouTube. inDmix channel. We're gonna keep giving you these hot episodes of the inDmix podcast, and we're gonna catch y'all next week. We out.